me for another video. If you're new, my name is Ruschelle and I do lifestyle videos. Before I go into this video, I want to say thank you for all the persons who subscribed to take me over the 100 subscribers. You guys are awesome. As the title suggests, I'll be answering questions that persons ask me on my social media handles. Right? There weren't any specific questions. I just asked persons to ask me random questions for me to answer for my next video. So here we are today. If you see me looking down, that's because I'm looking at the questions on my phone. So my first question is, how was childbirth? Now I could say it was good. But before, it was nerve-wracking, right? Going through the process, it was so nerve-wracking. I mean, I had a good pregnancy. I didn't have any complications. But coming closer to the time, things that was supposed to be happening, it wasn't happening. Stuff like I wasn't dilating. My baby didn't go all the way down to the pelvis. My cervix, the lining wasn't thinning. And I remember going to my 39 weeks appointment. So I was 39 weeks the Monday. I went to the doctor, my regular appointment on the Friday. And she was like, there's still no improvement, so we're gonna have to schedule a C-section. But I was like, no doctor, I need to try. And when I said I needed to try, she said, okay, you're gonna have to come to the hospital tomorrow. Anyways, we got to the hospital and they said my pressure was a bit high. And for all the pregnancy, my pressure was never high. But when just noticed it was a nerve though, and they spoke to you, tried to get you calm and all. And they started the process about after 7 in the night. They inserted a pill. And in the 12 o'clock bell, there's nothing to go on. Same way, doctor came to check you. And I remember in the 3 o'clock bell, some pain started to lick me. Good. But baby girl came the Sunday morning. Doctor said I was quick foot because I moved from nothing to something so fast. And with prayers and all, we got through. And thanks be to God, I didn't have to do a C-section, right? I had a natural birth. Second question is, would you have another child? Currently, no, I don't see myself having another child right now. Probably if further on in life things changes, then perhaps, but currently not. No, it's nowhere in my field of vision. Next question is, how are you managing work from home with a baby? It's challenging, but I'm new. I've never done this before. Well, I guess most persons, we have not done this before, but I just try to juggle stuff. So like, because you have to be managing work stuff, her feed time, or sleep time, or play time. Sometimes you're doing work, but we have to be rocking her because she gets a bit fussy. You give her a ton of things to play with, she finishes just come to you because she wants to lift her up. So I just try to juggle to make it work. I don't have her every day, thank God, and sometimes my husband is home, so he'll keep her while I work. Next question is, how you can laugh so? Because it relaxes muscles, releases tension, makes it pretty. Yeah, but if you know me, I love to smile. I love to see people smile. I love to make people smile, right? Next question. I need some tips on credit card management. What's some of your guidelines to keep out of debt or overspending? Alright, I'm going to incorporate this question with another question that I had about coming out of bad credit, as well as financial advice for low-income persons. Basically, in a nutshell, you need to just spend what you have. If you don't have it, don't spend it. Remember, credit card, the money does not belong to you. It's the bank's money. It's a loan to you. So if you know you can't pay it back, don't use a credit card. But a lot of times, sometimes the bank realize that because you're using the bills monthly, you're paying it back, they might increase the limit, ask them to decrease it back. Okay, you really don't need it. What this does to you is to encourage you, to push you to try to spend more than you really want. So always ask the bank to reduce that limit. And as I said, spend what you have. I earn a certain amount of money. I can only do this and no more with it. So I just need to stay within that. It makes no sense I go around borrowing money to buy things that I probably don't want, or probably don't need. Rather, you only buy things that you need, and learn to make budget. Budgeting is so important, guys, and when we make a budget, we need to stick with it. Make a list. Right. And sometimes we want to do stuff, and instead of borrowing the money, well, we don't just like space it out, because sometimes I do that. So you want to buy something that costs X amount of money, you can't take all that lump sum from a pay at once. So for 3 months or 2 months, you take half from the paycheck here, half from this paycheck, and make it work. Right. And the next question is, what's on your bucket list after Corona? So initially for this year, I planned a nice Portland trip for later on in the year. I'm not sure how long Corona is going to be for, but if it ends this year or whenever it ends, I hope to still be able to do that Portland trip. I wanted to do some nice rafting, you know, go to the Blue Lagoon and stuff like that, enjoy the beautiful part of Portland. So hopefully I'll still be able to do that after Corona. Next question is, how do you juggle being a wife, mother, working person, and active member of the church? That's a very good question. As I say, it's a juggle. But more importantly, the schedule, right? You schedule time for church work, and then you have a time for your family, right? Because you know life can be busy and very demanding, right? So we have to just learn to budget our time wise and to make it work. Well, let us not forget that it's God, the family, and then the church. What's the secret to a lasting relationship? When you get asked that question, but seriously though, first things first, you need to make sure that when you get married for love, right? Make sure that your love is not because the person have a nice house, them have a pretty car and stuff like that, them dress nice, you know, because when all else fails, you want to ensure that you had a good firm foundation, which was love, and you guys can build back from anything. And it's also important that we you know, we listen to each other, we communicate, we compromise, and compromising doesn't have to be bad, guys. Compromising for the good. So we know that we are now one unit, right? So whatever we are compromising on should be for the greater good. But let us be respectful to each other. Sometimes, you know, the ladies, we can be a bit lippy. Yeah, we need to learn to guard our mouths and our tongues and be careful how we respond and how we say things, right? It's not always about winning. You're not going in a relationship for win. This is not a race, right? It's not about winning, but it's about after you're finished talking, you guys come to an agreement and you guys can move forward in love. So our next question is, when it comes to managing finances as couples, sometimes there can be conflicts. How do you guys manage that to reach a goal? One more hard question. But as a couple, we merge our funds, we come together and we pool our funds together and we budget from that. So ever since we've been married, we've always had this running Excel that each month, you know, budget comes in, we put our finances together and we make it work. Well, that works for us. Not every couple does that, but hey, do what works for you. This works for us. How we make it work though is that you need to realize now that you're no longer a unit for yourself, right? You're now a unit with two persons. So probably before you got married, you used to realize that hey, you could have just every month you could have buy yourself 3 blouse, 3 skirt, or shoes. That might change when you're married, because when you're married you probably have more responsibilities. But worse now, when we have a baby, we have a lot more responsibilities. So it's just for us to come back to compromise again. You probably can't buy the shoes we used to buy every month. You probably can now buy your shoes every 6 months or every 3 months, or probably every one time for the year, or probably only one time for the year. Next question is, now that you have a baby, how do you maintain the balance with your husband so not to get lost with the baby and neglect him? So guys, when the baby just came, he was being neglected. The man didn't get well for neglecting, because it was new for both of us. Both of us knew we'd have had changes to our relationship because we now had somebody to nurture and to care for. And in the early stage, we were both learning on how to do this and how to make things work. Yeah, but now that she's older, it's a lot easier, because like now she goes to bed between 7 and 8 p.m. So you know that after time, we'll probably come sit in the settee, you know, talk about each other's day, ask how was a day, what you did. Yeah, and basically share funny stuff. If you know me and my husband, yeah, we laugh a lot. We talk about all kind of foolishness. My husband is a joker himself, so if you know him, yeah, it's just low laughing. So yeah. And the final question is, what's your favorite meal to cook? Guys, who said I like to cook? I just cook because I have to. But I love ackee and saltfish, and I love curried mutton, and I love my boiled food, like my dumplings and my yam and my banana and my sweet potato. I love those. So guys, if you have other questions that you'd like me to answer, you could post them in the comments, so I could probably do a part 2 Q&A, right? Yeah, that's a wrap, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and to subscribe. Bye.